Good morning, guys. Today we are in a new country, a new city, and apparently a new park.
We are in Vienna and we're making our way to one of the many palaces here.
Let's go check it out. So you probably noticed that we are in our running gear today, and that's because this palace that we're off to is a little bit far away from our hotel.
We find it's a great way to get a little bit of extra exercise and to cover more ground at the same time. If you've been following us for a while, you probably know that we used to run quite a bit. We've been kind of slack lately.
Slacking.
But if you're new around here, I am Anna, this is Trevor. We are the Delightful Travelers. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and that little notification bell will let you know when we have new videos out.
Well, we found the palace, and there's a band over here, I think, playing James Bond. Like, can you hear that? Listen. Sounds pretty good.
We absolutely love running into random unplanned stuff like that. It's always so fun and spontaneous.
I know, and now we're inside this palace courtyard. Look how big this is.
So one thing that Vienna is really famous for is all of its beautiful palaces. There are two main ones. First one being the Hofburg, which was the main imperial palace of the Habsburg dynasty. And the president actually lives there today.
There you go. Right now we are in the Schönbrunn Palace, I believe. It's hard to say, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but this was basically the summer residence for the same reigning family. So the band is still going over there, guys.
So we heard that it's really beautiful inside. We'd love to go see it, but apparently you're not allowed to film, so what's the point?
Okay, but I think there might be some gardens this way that we're gonna go check out.
Made our way into the Privy Garden. The first thing you see is a whole bunch of orange trees.
Yeah, it's like a little fairy tale back here. So this is pretty neat. We're in this tunnel and it's completely encompassed by vines. It's pretty unique.
So we just mentioned the Habsburg dynasty. They were the reigning family of the Austrian Empire for centuries, essentially from like the 11th century until the early 20th century, so a really long time. They weren't the most powerful empire. They didn't have like big armies, or they weren't out conquering other continents, but what they were known for was marrying into other royal families. So they were throughout Europe, the most famous being someone you may have heard of, Marie Antoinette, who was the last queen of France. So we did pay to get up here. There's a really good view, so it's totally worth it. I think it was $3.80 per person, and it gives you access to 2 different gardens. But we just noticed there's a free section too, so we might go check that out. So we were coming from the gardens, we just turned the corner, had no idea maybe there might be more gardens here, but look what we see in front of us.
We almost just left to go back to the hotel. You guys would have gave us a hard time because this whole thing is free, and wait till you see what is this way. There is a fountain up here. Like, we did not expect this. This is beautiful. I would say that this is more impressive than the Trevi fountain, do you think?
Ooh, those would be fighting words.
Honestly, like the whole gardens, they're probably the most impressive gardens that we've ever seen.
Maybe. Although we were recently in Stresa, Italy, and those were some fabulous gardens. If you haven't watched that, click up here.
Honestly, this is such a great start to the day. If you're in Vienna, you have got to come see this palace.
I can't even describe how impressed I am. This place is absolutely stunning.
Okay, but next up, we're going to a market. So we finished up the run, we went back to our hotel, got changed. Now we are down at the Naschmarkt.
And they basically have everything here from clothes to produce to wine to international food, but we're gonna try to find some Austrian food.
Yeah.
So we walked around the market for quite a while before we found what we were looking for, but it's a sausage called Käsekrainer or Käsekrainer, something like that. It's basically a sausage with cheese in the middle of it. It comes with, I think, mustard and ketchup.
Okay, we also got a couple of beers. They're pills. I think they're Austrian. Cheers.
Cheers. That's good.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, we're both gonna go for this at the same time. Where do you want to do? You're gonna do mustard.
I did mustard.
I'll do the ketchup. I think it's ketchup.
Yeah, I think so. Looks like ketchup.
All right, there we go. 1, 2. I can taste the cheese right away. The outside of this is crispy.
Very.
And then the inside, the meat is really tender, and the cheese kind of like oozes through the whole thing. It is delicious so far.
I really like with the mustard. You should try it.
I'm gonna go for the mustard now.
And I will try the ketchup.
Look at it. Oh.
Ketchup has a nice like tang.
Yeah, the mustard. It's actually like a little bit sour, and it goes really well with the just with that crunch. So that was absolutely delicious. So far, everything in this city is blowing us away.
Definitely. A little bit of history. This market actually dates back to the 15th century. It's been here a really long time. And I read that some of the current stalls actually started in like 1920. So they've been here a really long time.
That's long. This isn't the first market we've been to. Recently we were in London at the Borough Market. If you want to watch that, click up here because it's such a good time exploring that place as well.
So we have moved on to more food. This time something you've probably heard of, but we didn't realize it originated in Vienna. It is apple strudel. Comes with whipped cream, some sort of berry. I'm not sure what that is on the side. It's got like a flaky crust, lots of apple in the middle. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this because it smells insanely good.
Okay, and it's got a little bit of whipped cream and a little bit of the strudel. I think that's a sign that you like it.
Reminds me a lot of apple pie, but I like it better because it's not as crusty. The flaky crust on top is like really, really thin. You can barely even notice it, and it's super cinnamony. So good with the whipped cream. I love it.
Oh, it is so like apple pie. It's a perfect description, but I do like that crust better. This is lovely. It's always my favorite kind of dessert. I always go for like caramel or cinnamon or apple. You're more of a chocolate person.
I am, but I never order these, but when I get it, I really love it.
I know. This is delicious. That market was awesome. If you're in Vienna, you have got to go there. Now, we just realized we didn't really talk about where Vienna is. It's on the east side of Austria, and there's about 1.7 million people here.
It is also the capital city and the largest city here in Austria.
So I keep saying to Anna, one of the things I cannot believe about Vienna is how incredibly clean it is, and it's so pedestrian friendly. The roads are really wide, and there's enough room for all the cars to get by too.
There also seems to be a lot of bikes, I've noticed.
Yeah.
The other thing I've noticed is that it seems to have a really cool cafe culture. So there seems to be some older cafes, you know, they've probably been around for hundreds of years and they perfected their pastries and their coffee. And then yesterday, we spent the day working and we found some super hip cafes as well that are like really modern, really cool. So yeah, you get a bit of a mixture of both.
So guys, we are just coming up on the St. Stephen's Church, which is an iconic structure here in Vienna. I believe it dates back or originates in the 12th century or something like that.
Yeah, one of the most interesting features about it is the roof. It's tiled. So on one side, I think it's the double-headed eagle, which is the Habsburg dynasty. We already talked about them, their symbol. And then on the other side, it's the coat of arms for Vienna and Austria.
So we actually have another little random fact about Vienna for you. One thing the city is known for is all the composers that have lived here, one of them being Beethoven.
Right, and so I found this interesting little thing when I was reading about this church, was Beethoven actually figured out how deaf he was becoming when he looked up at the church and he saw all the birds coming from the bell tower, realized the bells were going off but he couldn't hear them.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
At this church.
Yes, at this church.
Alright, so we made it down to the canal. Or maybe there's multiple canals, but look, there's like graffiti over there. A whole bunch of places to hang out. Must do boat cruises. This is pretty cool.
It is really cool.
Look at all the graffiti right there. Wow. We gotta go down there. So we made it down here and it's pretty amazing. There's graffiti everywhere. We seem to be able to find that wherever we go, honestly. And I think this is the Danube Canal? Danube Canal?
Yeah, I think so.
Not the river?
No, it's not the river, it's the canal, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna make it to the river today, but the canal is gonna have to do. You guys, this place, we keep talking about Vienna, is blowing us away. I know we say that all the time, right? But I don't know, there's something special about this. Like this canal, after everything we've seen today.
So cool. We kind of expected Vienna to be a bit of a pass-through from our our last destination to our next one, but it's been seriously cool. Like I could say the whole day has been a big surprise. I've enjoyed everything we've done way more than I expected to. It was awesome. Yeah, and speaking of our last destination, if you haven't checked that out yet, well, we were in Greece and we were in Crete, specifically on a beach tour. Very different from today's video. Go check that out if you get time. Next up, we are heading to Budapest. Yeah.
Did we tell people that yet?
I don't think we have.
So we are going to Budapest, so stay tuned for that, guys. And if you're new around here, I'm Trevor and this is Anna. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell for notifications so you know when a video comes out, because we'd love to have you follow along on our adventures.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Vienna, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.